and welcome back to the Blue Jays Today Show. We're in this one, guys. We gotta talk about some big things for the Toronto Blue Jays. A Vladimir Guerrero Jr. potential injury, a playoff berth just out of our grasp. It's right in front of us. What do the Blue Jays got to do to get there, guys, and get into that wild card spot? We're going to talk about all that and more right here on Blue Jays Today. I'm your host, Adam Peddle.
And I'm your host, Nicholas Playlog. And effectively, we are at playoff baseball, everybody. This next week, this next month of baseball for the Toronto Blue Jays is absolutely huge. Every game, every inning, every pitch, it matters. It directly impacts that percentage, which is fluctuating consistently about whether or not the Toronto Blue Jays will make playoffs. And a big dip in that percentage happened potentially yesterday. I hope not. But with Vladimir Guerrero Jr., and we are going to start right off with that potential injury, folks. We were killing those guys over there in Cincinnati, man. We were slapping them around. We were doing exactly what we needed to do yesterday. And so, this Guerrero injury where he got taken out of the game with the finger, it almost went unnoticed at the time because, you know, you had some other people starting to leave the game later and everything like that. And because we were crushing them so much, we didn't really think too much about it. But then you go back and you're like, oh yeah, he got taken out pretty early in that game, and now he is day-to-day with a finger issue.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys remember, if you guys are watching that game, like, he swung and the bat flew out of his hands, and immediately he felt something, got checked, stayed in to actually go continue the AB, but yeah, right after, Cav Biggio went in for him, and he was out of the game. But you're right, it didn't matter, because I think at that point we were already up either 5 or 9 runs, so we were doing some damage against those Reds. But obviously, I know a lot of people aren't happy with Vladimir Guerrero Jr.'s performance because we hold him to that elite expectation, but dude leads the team in RBIs. You know what I mean? He's got 72 on the year. He's been basically our number one RBI producer, clutch in RBI in runners scoring position situations, which we've been screaming to the heavens, please, can someone solve this problem? And Guerrero really hasn't been the problem. So having him out of the lineup day to day, definitely something to worry about. But John Schneider says it shouldn't be a big issue. I'm hoping he avoids the IL, man.
Yeah, they were talking about it today, saying that it could just be a day-to-day thing, that they're hoping that he'll be back in the lineup in this series against the Orioles, which we desperately need him for, everybody. I would not be surprised if for a few games, maybe you see Brain and Belt over there doing the first base duties, and Guerrero is kind of that DH role. Maybe that's the way that they want to play these things. But we need every single player, right? We do need every single guy moving forward. Now, you do make a good comment about Guerrero, and this is, you know, not really to do with the injury, but just in general. I posted this tweet earlier or just on the weekend, actually, excuse me, and you guys, like, it was contentious. Everybody lost their minds, everybody. This tweet's got, like, 200,000 views on it or something stupid like that, and it's because there is a narrative here. Effectively, what I say is I put down the stats from all of his seasons, and I say, is Vlad just an average baseball player who had one great season? Because I'll be honest, man, I was watching some of the games, I was watching some of the strikeouts that he had in that Friday night game, and I was like, holy shit, like, this is not the 2021 guy that I remember. And when you look at all those stats, when you compare them next to each other, that narrative is kind of there. What are your thoughts on that? And chat as well, what are your thoughts on that? Let us know down below.
Yeah, like, I definitely wouldn't say he's an average baseball player. He's definitely above average, right? I mean, even this season, shout out to whoever just subscribed, like, still OPS plus above the average, right? He's still an above average player. He produces, and, like, I know someone in chat said he's not clutch. Well, actually, if you do look at the splits, with runners in scoring position, he is very elite. Let me just scroll down here. Yeah, with runners on, with 2 out. Where is it here? Am I blind? 2 out with runners on. Yeah, here we go. Look at all the OPS, all the big numbers. They jump up, everybody, with runners on. And yeah, he hits about 300 with runners on. But yeah, overall this year hasn't been, like, without runners in scoring position. He's been chasing. He's been swinging. I think he's been pressing for the last 2 seasons to get anywhere close to that 2021 year, which you put out there. I mean, he set a big standard for himself. And Vladimir Guerrero Jr., like, he needs to be able to cut down his approach. He's swinging. He's looking for base hits still to this day. And I don't think that's going to change unless he literally changes his entire game. He needs to have an offseason again. We thought it was going to be this offseason he changed his mentality back to 2021. He needs to try to do it again and stop offering at the sliders away, man. You gotta be better than that, bro. He's got to be way more selective. He's not like his father.
Yeah, 100%, man. I mean, like, his approach needs to be different than his dad, needs to be different than Bo, needs to be different than Biggio, needs to be different from everybody. It needs to be Vladimir Guerrero Jr.'s approach. Now, what is kind of crazy is that when you pull up his Baseball Savant page, it tells a much different story, right? Because, yeah, we look at the season-long stats, and then we go, oh, okay, like, this is a little bit better than average, but you look at this and you think, oh my God, like, Matt Olson, Shohei Ohtani, Aaron Judge, like, how, it almost looks identical to 2021, right? So it's kind of wild that he's not doing better because all these sabermetrics are indicating that this guy should be an MVP candidate this year. Maybe the balls aren't falling for him. Maybe he's getting really unlucky. It feels like that's kind of ridiculous how unlucky he would be getting if that's the case, but This is also another way of looking at it.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, you got a 301 expected batting average. That's top 3% in the league, right? Like, you got expected slugging of 510. That's top 10% in the league. Like, why aren't the results falling? Honestly, you could chalk it up as, well, maybe you just got to have a bigger sample size because it feels weird this year, right? Last year, he actually played around kind of where his batting average was, but this year a lot better. And the only difference from the 2021 to 2023 is just the chase rate. 39th percentile this year, and in 2021, 69. Nice. That's it. And so is that chase rate difference the reason why the results aren't showing? Maybe not. But I feel like Vladdy could turn a corner any second, and maybe it's not this season. Maybe it's next season. But I still have faith for my dude to a well above average, maybe superstar in the future.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm definitely not out on Guerrero by any stretch of the imagination. I think that somebody tweeted back to us and effectively said, look, he's an above average player. He's not an average player. He's an above average player. He's just might not be the perennial all-star / MVP candidate that we were all hoping for or thought of.
Like year in and year out.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, like, and maybe that is not the case. I hope that he does kind of flip that corner and go back to that level, but still, we need him in the lineup regardless, guys, because when you look at the Toronto Blue Jays offense as a whole, it's not really there this year.
No.
And maybe one reason is what we're going to talk about next, which is a ridiculous thing, everybody. I mean, like, we saw this earlier today, and, like, this is just so goddamn stupid. Get your head in the game, coaching staff. What are you doing?
If anyone see this, Nick brought it to my attention. Toronto Blue Jays coach under fire for controversial tweets minutes before the game. So basically what happened was one of our bench coach and hitting strategist, Dave Hudgens, 4 minutes before the game, is tweeting about, where is it? Oh yeah, you got it up here. Something to do with Biden being like, look, Chuck Schumer, Americans don't care about the investigations into the Bidens. There's an article, Daily Wire, and here's Dave Hudgens 4 minutes before game time saying, "How do you know what Americans care about? You are out of touch, hack." And here's what I gotta say, buddy, you are a bench coach for a Major League Baseball team and hitting strategist. Are you out of touch? Are you out of touch, bro? Get yourself in the game, like Nick's saying. What are you doing? If you're getting paid the big bucks, get off your phone and talk to your players that are about to go face Major League pitchers. This is ridiculous, and I'm upset to see that you're not taking your job seriously. That's ridiculous, bro. What are your thoughts on this crap?
It's embarrassing.
Yeah.
It's actually just embarrassing, dude, because not only is Dave Hudgens clearly not paying attention or doing his job at the time that he should be doing it at, but he's also so stupid that he would then go and tweet out and show the world that he's not doing his job. Listen, man, we all screw off at work every now and again, right?
For sure.
Our minds wander, and it does happen. But how are you this stupid? How could you go out and then tweet back knowing that the game is on right now?
You're in the dugout.
And everybody is going to see this, right? It's like you got Bo Bichette coming up and saying, hey, Dave, I was thinking about potentially attacking this pitch today. Dave's like, wait a second.
Biden!
Yeah, like,
this is way more important right now.
No, that is so absolutely stupid. And if I am any other team right now, I'm looking at the Toronto Blue Jays and thinking, this is just embarrassing. Get your head in the game, Dave. You got to do better, man. I don't care what you tweet about or who you tweet at or anything like that. Just not during the freaking ball game, man.
Dude, it's ridiculous. I mean, guys, the Toronto Blue Jays, we're a mid-offensive team this year, at our best, right? We're 14th in OPS. I think I checked today. Yeah, we're 16th in runs scored. We're mid. That's literally definition of mid, in my opinion. So, Dave, do better, bro. Yeah. What's your strategy? Like, are you that? You know what? You could be tweeting if we're first. If we are first in runs scored, if we are first in OPS, in batting average, you could tweet. Go ahead, tweet. You clearly, this ship is running, the gears are moving, but they're not. You got to figure something out, bro. You got to focus up because it's game time.
100%, dude. Just an unprofessional showing right there from Dave Hudgens, man. They got to right the ship there in the coaching staff. Moving on, we got to talk about an absolutely crucial, massive, huge, pick whatever adjective you want, guys. It is a big freaking series this week against division rivals. Baltimore freaking Orioles, man. Who saw it coming? Who anticipated that the Orioles were going to be World Series contenders this year? Listen, I will toot my horn to the day I die, and even when I came out and said I thought that they would be good, did I think they would be this good? Absolutely not, man. They have had our number, everyone's number, all season long. And now with the season on the line, the wild card berth potentially within our grasp, we have got to give it back to them this series.
We have to, guys. It's basically, I love this title from Sportsnet, by the way. Last chance versus Orioles before it's wild card or bust, because it does feel like that, guys. I mean, just looking over at the wild card standings, you got Seattle and Houston ahead of us. Someone tweeted at us saying that Tampa Bay would fall off. You can't really bet on that at this point in the season. They're 5.5 games ahead of the Toronto Blue Jays. So you're looking at Houston, the World Series champions, and you're looking at Seattle, the team that swept us last year in the wild card series. Those are two teams that are easily going to if I'll be perfectly honest, if I'm on the outside perspective looking at, if I'm not a Blue Jay fan, I actually like those guys' chances better than Toronto Blue Jays based on the offense this year. So this series isn't okay, you know what? Well, we'll take one game out of the three and we'll be happy, right? We'll take a look at that later when we do our predictions, folks, and we'll dive in a lot of it later. But we can't just be taking one game anymore. We have to win this series in Baltimore, which in Camden Yards, which would be so much more tough, bro. Like, do you feel like if we don't win this series, does it feel like it could be wild card or bust?
Okay. I mean, it's definitely going to be wild card or bust. I mean, like, if there's any actually hope, and I've kind of even counted this out because Ben Nicholson-Smith goes into this article and he talks about how, like, if there is any hope of getting the division, we have to sweep them, which is true, but I don't even think that that's possible, man. Like, even if we swept them, I still don't think that we're going to be winning this freaking division. But if you go in and you lose, then it just makes that playoff percentage, those playoff odds start to dwindle that much more. We have them up right here, everybody. Currently, the Toronto Blue Jays playoff odds are sitting at 64.5%. Now, when we scroll down and we look at Seattle's sitting at 59.1%, and then you got the Astros there at 79.9%. Wow. Every single one of those teams is above 50%, but I can guarantee you that one of them is not going to hit on those odds. Is it going to be us? Is it going to be Seattle? Is it going to be the Houston Astros? Beating teams like the Mariners is a must when it is this freaking close.
Yeah, man, we got to do some damage, and again, we're going to break it down a lot further for y'all. We'll have some predictions coming up, but this is probably one of the most critical series. I'm going to treat this, if I'm a fan, this is playoff series.
Yeah.
We're going to be live tomorrow for the first game. It's going to be a playoff game atmosphere, folks. You all want to be there because we got to watch this game closely.
Yeah, 100%, man, 100%. Now, last week on the Blue Jays Today Show, we were looking at the Seattle Mariners, and we went through their schedule, and we anticipated that it was possible we might fall out of playoffs by a few games because their stretch of teams that they were going up against, it was a hell of a lot easier than ours. Now, we are going to have a stretch of teams that's going to be easier than them. That's going to start to happen within a week or two, right? So that's the Toronto Blue Jays. Once those Nationals come in, it should be easy sailing for the Blue Jays for a little while, right? But we had to go through a stretch of tough teams. They're going to have theirs eventually. Houston has now entered the mix as potentially being a squad that could maybe flirt with falling out. What are your thoughts on that? Do you think that there's a reality where Seattle and Toronto make it in, and Houston is the squad that dips away?
Look, out of those three teams, Houston's making it, guys. We got to remember they're literally World Series champions, and they would be winning their division right now if it weren't for those breakout Texas Rangers right now, right? Like they're a complete team. If we look over here, folks, for the entire season, they're fourth in OPS.
Actually, this is the last 30 days.
Last 30 days. Okay, they're hot. They are fourth in OPS. And you look over at the pitching side of things, their last 30 days, their ERA, if I remember correctly, oh wow, they're actually falling down a little bit. Okay, they're 13th. Okay, so not as hot, but still I know that in the entire season, they've got to be up there. If I'm not
they're up there
mistaken.
for sure. They're up there for sure. I mean, we know that
they're number
pitching-
6. Like, that's a more complete team all season long. Like, do I love that we're first in pitching? I love it. I freaking love it. But what we need is a somewhat decent offense. We have a mid offense like we've been talking about, folks. And we all have been talking about the narrative. You know, we're just not coming up clutch with runners in scoring position. If we were actually average with runners in scoring position, man, we would actually have an incredible record. We probably would not be having this conversation right now. We got to figure that out. And if we can do that, then sure, we might have a chance to squeak in, but Houston won't be getting out. They're staying there.
Well,
we got to beat
listen,
the Mariners.
the one thing that I will say against that is the fact that the Mariners just went in. They swept them. That just transpired, right? That was 3 games against the Seattle Mariners where the Houston Astros, they got it handed to them, man. So I am hoping, even though, yes, their offense has been good in the last 30 days. I mean, I feel like the Houston Astros offense is always going to be good at, they're just always going to be up there. If they potentially start going on a cold streak right there, if teams like Seattle... Do we play against Houston? Do we have any games?
We don't. We do have the series against them, like the season series. So that's the one positive. If we end up in a tie, we will beat them.
Yeah, and that is something to note, right? I mean, if we finish with the same record, which right now, God only knows, it's actually very, very close. It is possible. If we finish with the same record, Toronto Blue Jays, we will sneak in. Can you imagine if that's the drama happening?
Dude, it's like 2021 all over again. I would hate that.
I don't know if my blood pressure can take that anymore.
I couldn't, man.
I don't think my blood pressure can handle that anymore, guys. It is getting dangerously close, though, folks. Now, I do tend to agree with Adam a little bit that these are the World Series champs. I find it tough to believe that they are going to fall off. But then again, I wouldn't have predicted a sweep from Seattle.
I wouldn't have done that, yeah.
So it's like, prove me wrong. Please, for the love of God, prove me wrong. Somebody fall off, man, and let it not be us.
Yeah, hopefully not, guys. Now, let's touch a little bit on this past week before we dive into the future week and we break everything down. Let's touch on it. So we had Phillies, okay? We split that series. That's okay. They're there in the wild card. We predicted that would kind of happen. Then you go over to Cincinnati, and actually really great that we're on the road and we beat up the Cincinnati Reds that are down. We take 2 out of 3. What are your thoughts, bro? Because everyone this feels like the last 2 weeks have kind of repeated itself. On both Sundays, we blow up. Our offense is amazing. We're heading into next week. We're thinking, damn, here we are. The offense is back, and then they go silent again, man. Like, do you think that it's going to happen again, man? We're blow up, and then this next week, we're going to have some silent days?
Yeah, of course it's going to happen again. I mean, it's been happening all season, right? This is the 2023 Toronto Blue Jays. We are consistently inconsistent. There's a great tweet out there from Josh Goldberg who says, every Toronto Blue Jays game is different, but it's also the same, right? And it does feel that way. Week to week to week, we say the same stories, we watch the same movies. There will be a game this week where the Toronto Blue Jays score 0 or 1 run. It's going to happen. It might happen against a 5 ERA pitcher too, right?
100%.
It's like this is something that we've watched time in and time out. The beautiful thing about it is that the most consistent and best part of our team is the pitching staff, and they remain elite, right? They continue to kick ass, and they will keep us in every single game, and that's why, even though I have been frustrated as hell with this ball team more times than not this year, we still walked out with a positive record this
did.
week.
Absolutely.
And that's because you're getting incredible performances from Kikuchi, from Hyun-Jin Ryu.
Dude, from Burrios. No earned run, 5 2/3. Well, actually, our worst pitcher was Gosman this week.
Right.
That was crazy.
How can you expect it? You know what I mean? It's like our pitching is absolutely dominant right now, and they were going to keep us in the game. The offense, they're going to be silent, but as long as we keep winning more games than not, I'm okay with it. The big problem for us is that Seattle is just on another fucking level right now.
Yeah, they are, man. And what's crazy about this offense, too, looking at what we did this past week, guys, the guys who were hot last week, they're cold now. Merrifield's cold. Vladdy's cold.
Right.
Biggio's cold. And the guys who were cold last week are hot now. Varsho's hot.
Yep.
Springer's still hot. And you got Bichette, who came back, played 10 at-bats, and literally, hit a homer and a triple. Belt's hot again. It feels like it's inconsistent. Whenever we spin the wheel, I have no idea who I'm going to pick anymore.
Offensively speaking, no idea.
Clue.
Couldn't
really no clue, right?
Yeah.
There's no consistency, so... Man, it is what it is, guys. Let's just hope we get great pitching and maybe 4 runs today. And we have a chance.
100%. With all of that being said, everybody, I do believe that it is that time of the week to announce the day of the week.
All right. right, it's time for the J of the Week, everybody. And I actually haven't even told you who I selected for the J of the Week. You're going to love this one. This guy actually popped off this week. Any guesses to who it is?
Is it Kikuchi?
I was considering Kikuchi. Your favorite player, it's Dalton Varsho.
Oh, okay.
Yeah! All right, Dalton Varsho. Here's why you got player or J of the Week for me. 5 for 13. He had an OPS, first of all, of 1.325. That's really good. He hit 2 doubles, 3 RBIs, 3 runs scored. But here's the big... Oh, a home run, too. Here's the big thing for me. He had 5 walks and 2 strikeouts.
Okay.
He cut down the strikeouts, so he got on base for a lot more. He basically got on base 10 out of 18 times.
Hell yeah.
That's really good, bro.
Hell yeah.
Really
Guys,
good.
smash the like button for Dalton No-Show, everybody. Dalton Faux Show, Dalton whatever, man. As long as he keeps hitting like this, I'm cool with it. You
Yeah,
know, call
me
him whatever
too,
the hell
bro.
you want, dude. Keep giving me a 1.3 OPS, please and thank you.
Yes, sir. All right, guys. We talked about it a little bit before the J of the Week segment right there, but we got to talk about this upcoming week. We talked about the Baltimore Orioles. Let's give you the details, folks, because this is literally, like we said, this is a playoff series.
I think this is the most important series of the year so far.
Absolutely, guys, because if we lose to the Orioles and we fall down even further out of the wild card race, we're gonna start to panic.
Yes.
The fan base is gonna panic. The
Yeah.
players, I hope they don't panic.
I'll tell you right now, guys. Depending on this series, you're either gonna have like a time to panic ? On Thursday podcast, or it's gonna be completely the opposite of like you're elite, you know. so yeah, well we'll see how things go, man. How are you predicting this week goes by?
Oh, it's tough, bro. So Tuesday, obviously no game tonight. We're live right now. Tuesday we've got Kikuchi literally becoming my favorite Blue Jay pitcher right now. He's up against Jack Flaherty. Dominated the Jays in his debut the other time.
He's been pretty good with the Orioles so far, too.
Yeah, he's been very good, folks. Then you got Kevin Gausman, who actually his last 2 starts have been kind of shaky, but he's still Gausman.
Yep.
You want to roll him out there. He's going up against Kramer, who I think also did well against us. I feel like all the Orioles pitchers do well against us. Crazy, because, like, you know, they have they're 13th in ERA. You know, they have a little bit above average staff, but they dominate us.
Yeah.
Burrios, he's up again. He had a great outing on his last time out. He's going up on Thursday against Kyle Gibson, who also dominates us. I remember him dominating us earlier in the year. So that's that series right there. Just a reminder, they're 6th in runs scored this year. Yeah. We're 16th in runs scored. Like I said, they're 13th in pitching. We're first. What do you predict?
And at this point of the season, I'm pretty confident that we are currently 2-8. Against the Baltimore Orioles. We are 2-8, so they have absolutely manhandled the Toronto Blue Jays up until this point. Now, folks, I mean, the smart prediction here would be going 1-2. That's what it is, right?
Feels like
that's
a lot.
the smart prediction. The optimistic prediction is going 2-1. The crazy, insane mode Blue Jays today prediction, because I want it to happen and I need it to happen, is going to be sweeping, and that's what I'm going to say. I'm saying that we're going to fucking lay the law down right here, and we're going to make up for all these goddamn series in the past. We're going to walk into Baltimore, and we're going to show these guys who's boss, and it's going to be a 3-0 sweep, baby.
You know what's crazy? The gut inside my body is telling me that I want to go for a 2-3, not a sweep, but the gut inside my body saying we're actually going to show up this week. We're going to feel it. We're going to feel a little bit of the pressure.
Yeah.
We're out of the wild card spot. We're going to feel the pressure and we're going to win it. Again, realistic me wants to go easy and 1-3, but I've this entire year when we look at the schedule, I've been saying the easy prediction. I'm going 2-3. In Baltimore.
Look, Jacob's saying what I'm thinking right now. He says we got our top 3 guys going
out
there.
We
got our top 3 pitchers going out there, everybody.
Uh-huh.
We got Bo Bichette back in the lineup, right?
Yes, we
got, we're getting contributions from the bottom here with Dalton Varsho and with fucking Biggio, for crying out loud, right? Like, how often can you say that Biggio and Varsho are good at baseball?
Not often at
with
all.
Kikuchi being incredible, right? I mean, like, you know what I'm saying, right? We have to win. It's impossible not to win right now, right? Like, this is going to be a 3-0 series sweep against the Baltimore Orioles, man. We're back in playoffs by Thursday.
My God, that'd be amazing. All right, and then after Thursday, we're flying back to Toronto. We're going to face the Guardians, who we faced recently in a series split, 4 games in Cleveland. Only got 3 games in Toronto this time. We've got Bassett going up against Bibe. He dominated us his last time out. Ryu going up against Allen. He's pretty good, but Ryu's even better. And then Kikuchi back on the mound against Syndergaard, who's been decent since coming to the Cleveland Guardians, but not the greatest. I'm saying we get 2 out of 3 right there as well.
Okay, listen. I went crazy insane mode there in that Baltimore series, and I do think it's going to happen. Something in me, in my gut right now, is for some reason it's saying that we're going to go 1-3 here.
What?
Or 1-2, excuse me, against the Guardians.
Okay.
I'm actually not sure why. I think maybe it's just because of that last series. I'm a little bit triggered.
Yeah.
It's just like we could not hit those guys to save our freaking lives.
Right.
You know, so like maybe that's sticking with me a little bit. I do think there's a good possibility here that we take 2, but I'm gonna stick and say that we go 1-2 in that series, making us 4 and 2 on the week, which I will absolutely take. And then we walk into our easy stretch. We walk into our easy stretch after that, guys. We're going Nationals. We're going. I think we got some Detroit Tigers at some point. We might get some. We got Oakland, right?
Yeah.
We got Rockies. Yeah. Look at this. Look at this.
Yeah.
You know, it's beautiful. Actually, no Detroit Tigers, but I mean, easy money for about 2 weeks of baseball right there. You know, so I'm saying that we go 4-2 on the week, and then we're gonna skyrocket. We're gonna skyrocket after that.
You know, not to derail the whole conversation, but now looking at these last 2 series, you got Yankees and Tampa Bay, and I'll be honest, like, yeah, I'd rather face the Red Sox probably over Tampa Bay, but like Yankees. Not the same team.
No.
At all.
Exactly, right? Like, when we were first evaluating this schedule, you looked down at these last 2 weeks and you went, oh my gosh, this could be a battle for the division leader, right? That's not the case anymore, man. I mean, the New York is just battling to try to be above 500 at this point.
They're playing spoiler. They'll be playing spoiler. They just want us to lose.
Exactly, right? And I mean, at this point as well in the season, you got to imagine if I'm a New York Yankee, right? I'm just playing not to get injured. I'm planning my vacay right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, their head's not going to be in the game at this point, man. They're thinking about where they're going to go in the offseason. So I like those series a lot to potentially take some W's off of them, man. So I'm thinking that August is going to be, or September, excuse me, is going to be a phenomenal month for the Toronto Blue Jays. But this week, big week, 4-2, lock it in.
Let's go, guys. All right, that's our predictions for the week, guys. You let us know your predictions as well in the comments in the live chat right now. We also got to make some other predictions, folks, and I'm losing it. I'm losing quite fast. So let's first shout out the sponsor of this next upcoming segment, Betway.
Time for a quick shout out to Betway. Betway is the best place to make all of your sports bets on all of your favorite teams. Betway is also in collaboration with iGaming Ontario. Must be 19 years older to participate. And guys, please bet responsibly. Now, back to the content.
Spinning, fortune, baseball, colorful, future determining, stat analyzing, and it's a wheel that we spin every week.
It is, in fact, a wheel that we spin every single week, everybody. We're going to spin it again this week. Before we do, guys, for the 168 people in here right now, you guys are all legends. We're going to be live tomorrow night for that first game against Baltimore. It is going to be electric baseball, so make sure to lock it in, folks. We will see you there at 7 freaking p.m. Smash the like button, hit the subscribe button as well. I took 2, you took 0.
Yeah.
This is feeling like it could be over, man.
Dude,
I'm going to put it out there right now.
I feel like the New York Yankees right now. I'm just playing for fun.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest, you know, like there's been because I took a massive lead. I took a massive lead, and then the last month, it's been around 500 ball. It's been around 500 ball. But now, with 2 off of you right here, that's a whole nother week. That's like my favor.
I know.
So.
And what's crazy is like the last 2 weeks were very identical for us. Like it was your week, you took Gosman, you lost it. I took Gosman this week when it was my week, and I lost it. I literally lost the 2 pitcher categories, and then home runs. I mean, Merrifield or Guerrero hit 0. So it's, nothing there.
Yep.
So, all right, your week again. Let's see what happens.
So Ryu and Kikuchi is
They're
where
dominating.
Can you believe it that I went Ryu with ERA and Kikuchi with K per 9, and those ended up in W's?
That's crazy, bro.
Blows me away. Absolutely blows me away, man.
This season's an anomaly, man.
All right, folks, spinning the wheel.
Let's go. You guys let us know in the comments, too. Who would you pick for the wheel this week?
Team Nick, everybody. Team Nick's coming for the kill this week.
No! And it's going to be home runs.
Go. I don't know. Go ahead.
I think I'm going to choose, he's getting hot at the right time. And I was this close. Maybe I do pick, actually. He's back. I'll go Bo Bichette, actually.
Yeah, that's reasonable, man. That's definitely reasonable.
I was going to go Brandon Belt. That was the guy I was going to go.
Brandon Belt is also, because he hit a few last week, right?
He hit 2,
He hit 2 last week. I mean, I just can't trust Guerrero right now with any power of any kind. We're getting some Kevin Biggios in here. Listen, folks, man, I just don't know if I can. I just don't know if I can with Biggio. In Varsho, am I actually about to do that? No. Listen, guys, I'm up by 12, so I guess I can play around a little bit here. But I don't know if I want to go insane crazy mode like that.
I feel like I go Bell.
Chapman went 0 for 13.
Yeah, I didn't even mention that. Yeah, dude's ice cold right now, bro.
God.
He's bad.
That is not... Okay, well, I know where I'm going for worst J then if we get that category. Yeah, lock me in with Brandon Belt, dude. He's got a little bit of pop. I'll take me some Brandon Belt and just hope that he smacks one this week.
All right, here we go. Next category. That one's gonna be for you. Springer wouldn't have been bad either. That's not a bad one. David Schneider. He did hit
Dude,
one.
if he got playing time, I might actually consider it.
Literally.
You know what's wild is that I am up by... Okay, it's gonna be Cage
Batters. Oh, here you go.
I'm feeling pretty confident about this one actually. I'm feeling pretty confident about this one. Let me just lock it in. Yeah, I'll take Matty Ice.
That's exactly who you should be picking.
Matty Ice.
And honestly, like Dalton Varsho is turning it around, but honestly, I would normally pick him. But a guy who always gets strikeouts, no matter how hot he is Brandon Belt.
Yeah, he does.
So I gotta be getting me some Brandon Belt.
No, I mean I could totally, dude. I could see him smacking 3 homers this week and still leading the team in strikeouts.
Absolutely, he always does.
That's his game, guys.
Yeah.
Now it's time for me to spin a goddamn bonus player. I don't think have I spun one this whole year?
No, you haven't. Not for you.
I'm up by 12, and somehow I still have not spun a bonus player for myself. Can I please get one, man? I don't need it, but I just want it.
Yeah, just for fun. Here it is. Oh, no, it's going to pass it. It's going to pass it. And we're going to get Jay Killer. Caper 9? Caper 9. All right.
Ah, man.
It's interesting.
It's not a lock anymore, everybody.
No.
It's not, okay, honestly, chat, let me know. Where am I going for Caper 9? Guys, I picked Kikuchi last week.
And he won.
Yeah,
he had 7 strikeouts, 6 innings. Gosman had 4 strikeouts in 5 1/3. He also was struggling there, too.
He didn't have a great outing. That's the thing, right? And I mean,
he's going up against the Baltimore Orioles.
He's going up against the Baltimore Orioles. That's true, man. I don't know. Oh, but so is Kikuchi.
He's going twice.
Ooh, okay, I don't know if I want Kikuchi then, guys. I don't like picking guys that go twice.
And
I just don't like it.
And like Ryu, yeah, he got 8 strikeouts, or 7 strikeouts in 5 innings, but he feels like an anomaly to me. Like that doesn't feel like he's gonna keep it up. You know?
No, I mean I could see Ryu going scoreless again, but I don't see him getting 8 strikeouts. Okay, you know what? I know that I said chat, but like now I'm starting to realize that Gosman might be the right way to go here, everybody. I'm thinking that I'm gonna need to go Kevin Gosman on this one, guys.
Right.
I would have been able to go Gosman or Kikuchi. I just don't like the 2 outings.
Yeah, because that's gonna even it out. Like if he has a good one and a bad one, it's gonna even it out.
I don't like that.
I need a burst. So for me, honestly, I think I gotta go. I don't like Bassett and Rio for strikeouts, so I gotta go Burrios. Even though it's against the Orioles. I mean, so is Kevin Gosman. I gotta get that Burrios strikeout.
Yeah.
He had 8 last week in 5 2/3.
I think that's reasonable, man. Yeah, Burrios is pretty solid right there. Jacob asking on the reel, can you choose relievers? We used to do it where you could choose relievers, and then we realized that's kind of cheap because, like, if you ever pick Jordan Romano, typically you just win.
Yeah.
So we were like, screw it, we'll just make it only starters, man. Yeah. But that is what the week is going to be, everybody. I'm feeling like Team Nick could potentially walk away with this thing relatively soon. We're gonna need to start doing the math about my magic number because it's got to be getting.
It's coming soon. It's definitely going to be. It depends on what happens these next 2 weeks, but it could be like sometime in September.
Yeah, it is coming, everybody. Everybody, hit that like button, smash subscribe button, folks. We're gonna be live again tomorrow night at 7 p.m., folks, to watch that first Baltimore Orioles game. It's gonna be some electric baseball, guys, and I want to see every single one of you there.
Yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching.
And
go Jays, go!